Morning, Raptor Freaks. Lexiot's here. It is Tuesday morning, and the Raptors are playing the Los Angeles Clippers tonight here in Toronto. It's the one time the Clippers come to Toronto this year, and what do you know? This time they actually have the two former Toronto Raptor champions coming to play healthy. Both of them will be playing tonight, Norman Powell and Kawhi Leonard, and it'll be fun. This is the first time that Norman Powell will play on in Scotiabank Arena since he was traded during the Tampa season. He did not play here last year, and this is a homecoming for him after getting traded. In fact, it's kind of sad how Norm never really got to say goodbye to our arena and our fans. So we got to do that correctly for him. I know a lot of the focus will be on Kawhi, but Kawhi has come back and played against us back here very right away, like in the next year before the pandemic. He did play back here, but Norman has not. But it's still good to give both of them a nice cheer and a thank you and respect for their part on the championship team. Let me just check in with who's in the comments already this morning, and we'll get going on this preview this morning. Raymond Jacobs saying, breaking news, live from the helicopter cam, Kawhi exiting the plane, laugh out loud. Well, I'm going to think that they got here like pretty late last night because they did play against Detroit last night, guys. And it's very interesting what happened in that game. There was a game of runs, and the Clippers were handling the game for most of the beginning of the game. And then the Pistons came and rose up in the second half. And at like the 3.5 minutes to go point in regulation, the Clippers were down by 13 points. Well, they did some crazy stuff in the last 3.5 minutes, and then they tied it up. They made up 13 points in those last 3.5 minutes and forced it to overtime. Now, in overtime, they absolutely dominated them and really outscored them. In fact, if you look at the 5 minutes of overtime and the 3.5 minutes that they played that I just described, they outscored the Detroit Pistons 30-5. They allowed the Pistons to only score 5 points for 8 minutes on the court, and they scored 30 points themselves to get a huge overtime victory. A lot of it was Paul George and the other, because Kawhi wasn't playing. He took his load management last night so he could play tonight. Now, in the reverse, John Wall is not expected to play tonight because he played last night. And that was kind of the deal that they're doing for how they want to do their load management around these two games. Is John Wall played last night. He's probably going to sit tonight. And the reverse for Kawhi. He sat last night. He's going to play tonight. So this is a very dangerous Clippers team. Obviously, you can see that if they're scoring that many points really quick and holding the other team to barely any points at the same time, very, very dangerous Clippers team. So we need to be ready tonight. But there is a lot of good news, and let me get into it right now. There was news from practice yesterday about Precious Achiuwa, and yeah, we may get him back for the next game. I know he loves playing against Memphis, and he practiced almost completely and fully yesterday at OVO Center with the Raptors, and he is expected to play either against Memphis or Phoenix. I doubt that he will play both games, but I'm going to bet you money he's going to play one of them. And it may be Memphis, it may be Phoenix, but you can expect Precious Achiuwa back on the court either Thursday or Friday, y'all. He's coming back before New Year's. Yeah, he's going to be ready. Other cool stuff from the practice yesterday. Juancho Hernan-Gomez posted a very interesting clip on Instagram last night, and it really told me a lot about the way his brain thinks and what he's a very, very smart man. And it's very cool. It's a black and white like film that he filmed in out the window of the OVO Center, which is next door to Medieval Times. Medieval Times is at the C&E grounds here in Toronto, Canadian National Exhibition grounds. It's a place I've gone to wrestling matches. Of course, I've gone there and seen the jousting, but Medieval Times is right next door to the OVO. And there's a cool clip on Juancho's Instagram last night, black and white, and it's like has the temperature, and it says it's 23 degrees Fahrenheit. That's not in Celsius for us Canadian folks up here. That's in very cold American temperature right there. And it shows this man out in the back of Medieval Times playing handball or racquetball. He's hitting the ball against the wall of the Medieval Times and going back and forth in the middle of the freezing cold weather. And Juancho, his quote is "You versus you." And he's just showing a regular average Joe, Torontonian, out back of medieval times, playing racquetball by himself, banging the ball against the wall, running back and forth in the middle of the freezing weather. And to me, that was so weird. It's such a weird post, but it's deep in some ways if you think about it. The message is it's you versus you. The opponent you have to beat that's the most difficult in your life sometimes is yourself. And I love it. It was so poetic, artistic, the way he shot it and posted it. And it was just really cool. I was like, it really gave me an idea of what Juancho sees in the world and what matters to him. So y'all check out Juancho's Instagram and you'll see the post I'm talking about. And like, if you're that dude he was filming, well, you're a little bit famous. We can't see your face, but you may be racquetball dude at medieval times. You go, Juancho Hernangomez. All right, let me go ahead and give you the real injury report right now, like officially. Right now, Achua is still out. It's his ankle, but he did go through most of Monday's practice. He is doubtful for today's matchup. That's way better than just out. He's doubtful, y'all, and that's pretty good. And like I said, Nick Nurse expects him to be back for one of the games later this week against either Memphis or Phoenix. So Precious is coming back very soon, y'all. Kem Birch is still listed as day-to-day. You know, Kem's injuries it's not an injury. He's been sick, y'all. He's actually had a non-COVID related illness, and they just want him to get better. Now, I could tell you if he's had that and he's been out for this little bit of time, hopefully he's ready for tonight. So I think that we can expect Kem Birch possibly to be available tonight, which is different than before. Now, Otto Porter Jr. still, I'm not hearing much timelines on him with his toe. They said the last report was on December the 13th that he's going to be out for at least another month. So I guess you guess that is be around like January the 12th, January 13th, around there for Otto Porter Jr. So there's your Raptors injury report. For your Clippers, basically they just have Kawhi listed as out, but that was for last night. I know that that's going to switch and he'll be in, and I'm pretty sure John Wall will be the one who will be out tonight against us, that he will not be playing. And it's very much load management from him playing last night. Now, all right, let me see what else you guys are saying in the comments. Logical Raptors Fanatic is here. Mike, good morning. Helicopters from Detroit. I guess Kawhi got those Uncle Dennis extras from Ballmer. Just kidding. Who actually knows? Well, I mean, Steve Ballmer probably does take care of them pretty good. But who knows? I bet you, they don't charter a bus. I'm sure they just make that quick flight in and try and get into their hotel and get some rest as quick as possible after an overtime game. And not just an overtime game. This was a very high-scoring game for the Clippers and the Pistons last night. They put up a lot of numbers quick. 142 points by the Clippers last night. You had 32 by Paul George, 16 by one of the Morris brothers, 16 by Norman Powell, 16 by John Wall, 18 by Luke Kennard, 12 by Zubac, and 14 by Reggie Jackson. So you have 7 guys in double digits for the Clippers last night in a winning effort over the Pistons. And yeah, that's, that, like I said, the Pistons were in control and had this game won with 3.5 minutes to go with a double-digit lead. It was 126 to 112. And, well, they only scored a few more points after that. They didn't score a whole lot after that. They had 126, and they ended up with 131. So they only scored 5 points in the last 8.5 minutes of that game, including the 5 minutes of overtime. That is crazy. And I don't know if that's just the Clippers clamping down or the Detroit just not playing well all of a sudden. With the keys to the victory tonight, we just got to once again look at this game as a matchup. It's a matchup versus. It's going to be Pascal versus Kawhi. It's going to be Reggie Jackson versus Fred VanVleet. It's going to be OG Anunoby versus, Morris or something. I don't know. They got to figure out who their opponent is on the other side and think about beating them in production. Because if they do that, we'll win. We just have to be better than them at different spots. Scotty, you got to be better than whoever, Zubac. They did come out yesterday and say, Scotty's a center now. This is what Nick Nurse was talking about with the reporters yesterday, saying, yeah, we started playing him at the 5 and it really works. And we like playing him at 5. So it's official. They are actually calling him a 5 and a center at this point. Scotty Barnes, y'all. And I'm all for it. This is exactly who he's been since he started in the league. He's been a center this whole time, and they just didn't want to admit it or maybe hurt his chances to be rookie of the year or anything like that. He's playing center duties. He's jumping the jump ball at the beginning of the game. He's going into the low post and posting up like a big man would. He's doing defensive assignments on the center of the other team. He is a center. I know it's crazy, and he may be some sort of weird point guard center, but they let the cat out of the bag yesterday. And Nick Nurse saying the center and it fits and it's working, and he was just blatantly talking about it that way yesterday at practice. Very interesting that he's saying he's a center now. Let's see. Tom Duke has got a helicopter, he's got the camera, he's got a TV, and he's got the claws hand, and he's got the basketball. All right, well, Kawhi has those giant claw hands, but who else has hands that measure to that same size? Well, Scotty Barnes does. And who else has defensive prowess like Kawhi Leonard does? Well, OG Anunoby does. And that is going to be so fun to see if OG Plumbing Company can cut the water off on our old friend Kawhi Leonard. It will be such a great matchup. I really want to see them go at each other. Let's see who's stronger, see who's quicker, see who can stop who better. Because, Kawhi's going to try and stop us at the other end. We got to try and stop him at his offensive end also. Let's go Raptors. That's right, Tom Duke. I see your 5 Raptor lineup, and I always appreciate seeing it. Mike is saying also, like the team takes a bus to T-Dot and the Claw takes a helicopter in style. Well, see, this is the kind of stuff I've always disagreed with teams, and this is part of the reason why the Raptors have had good team chemistry success. The stratification of superstars away from the regular roster guys, the normal average Joe NBA players, is never good. In fact, this is a big reason why LeBron James have more to overcome, is because he is in a stratosphere above and beyond all the rest of the guys, and there is special treatment. In fact, our championship year, when we had Kawhi, there was resentment on our team for Kawhi because he did get special treatment. Kyle Lowry in particular resented Kawhi getting special time off and not having to do certain things with the rest of the team. And it really pissed Kyle off because Kyle and DeMar, during the whole time they were here with Toronto, did everything with the team. There was no separation or stratification. Now, if they did that and they sent Kawhi and something else other than the team, that's a messed up, stupid idea. You need to keep them all together and keep them as a unit and not stratify guys above other guys. This is a big, big mistake that the NBA makes all over the place. And luckily, we're not a team like that. A lot of other teams do have stratification of their superstars over the regular average Joes on the team. And it hurts their chemistry, trust me. It really does. Starscream's here, Nets fan, checking in with us this morning. Raptors freaks, thanks for giving us the blueprint to beating the Cavs. Laugh out loud. Good luck tonight. Well, there you go. Good job, Nets. You guys are still rolling and doing good stuff. I hate the Cavs. I don't mind y'all beating the Cavs. They're annoying, especially Cleveland fans. And Raptor fans that like the Cleveland Cavs, you shut up too. Why are you touting them being so great and Donovan Mitchell is such a great trade? Screw that. We hate them. We don't want them to get kudos for that. And in fact, I think they're imposters. We've handled them, and now the Nets are handling them. So, yeah, I'm all right with y'all beating the Cavs because I can't stand them. I don't like y'all that much either. But in some ways, I like y'all more than the Cavaliers. Let's just put it that way. So you go, Nets. Thank you for beating the Cavs also. How about that? Right back to you. Tom Duke saying, beyond their top 3 players, Clippers are just have multiple guys that can step up and nail threes like Mann and Kennard. Here we go. Tom Duke with the scouting report, and I appreciate it. There is something that's been said about this Los Angeles Clippers team is it's full of role players and really valuable ones that can do all kinds of different things and step in and take care of different duties for what they need done. And I think that, Tom's hitting the nail on the head literally with what he's saying is that they need to stop them at threes. We really got to watch Luke Kennard. He is a sharpshooter. He has hurt us in games against us in the last couple of years, and we need to keep track of him. He is somebody we need to know where he is on the court all the time. Terrence Mann is a young man, a young talent that is blossoming and getting better and better. He's a good friend of Scotty's, and he likes going to play against his friends. So that'll be part of the bromance tonight. You'll have Freddie and Norman, Kawhi and the rest of the team, and then you'll see Scotty and Terrence Mann a little bit, very much good friends, and they'll enjoy being around each other tonight also. But yeah, Terrence Mann is annoying and can be a problem. Let me see what he did last night, just in his stats for the game last night, coming off the bench. 21 minutes, 3 of 6 shooting, just 6 points for Mann last night. But I'll tell you what, he had the highest plus minus for the Clippers last night, plus 28. So he must have been doing something right out there, at least with directing things and helping them get to the W. A very well earned W that they really scratched and clawed and played exceptionally well at the end of the game. If they watched the game last night, Nick and all the coaches and stuff, they really got some stuff to learn about these Clippers and just how dangerous they are. We need to realize that the way we played against Cleveland and New York and even Philadelphia last week, we have to play that much better. That we're going to have to take this whole clock of 48 minutes and play solid the whole time, because we let up just a little bit, the Clippers are going to mess us up. Now, we've had good luck against the Clippers in recent years and actually have beaten them. We beat them both times last year. So let's try and beat them again both times this year, starting with tonight. Yeah, I love it. Mike's also saying, salute Real Ones, Project Truth always. And Starscream, Nick does that. So teams have the Nick Nurse flu and don't play their starters against Nick sometimes. Boston did that last year and their D held up. Okay, so Mike's saying that other teams will have the strategy of holding out some of their best players so that Nick Nurse cannot show the whole entire league how to break them up and bust up their good things going. And you know what? I think that there's a very sound logic to what Logical Raptors fanatic is saying here. That we saw last year that the Bucks were very hesitant to play Giannis Antetokounmpo against us at times. And yes, it's also true. Boston held different players out in different games last year also. So that's an interesting observation, Mike, and I think there is a lot of truth to what you're saying. Cool Cat saying, good morning, Raptor Freak crew. Excited for tonight. Another opportunity for a W. That's right, Cool Cat. Keep warm and those nice island vibes where you are right now, and I'm glad you'll be able to watch the game tonight, even though you are out of the country. And yes, send us those good W vibes from where you're at. Winning in the warm place. Please. Randolph Phillips is here. Good to see Raptor Freak Randolph Phillips. What is he saying this morning? Happy holidays, blessings, beloved Raptor Freaks, most informative gang. Let's go get this game, Raptors. Win, 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 win. Just very simply, win, 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 win. All we do is win, 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 no matter what. Win, 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 win. Win, 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 win. I miss that song. I wish they played that song this year. I know it was last year's song when they're in warm up. That song that just goes, win, 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 win. I love that song, but I don't hear it this year. I mean, I know it's like a flavor of the year kind of thing. You don't want to have last year over and over again. But, I mean, the 21, the Drake, the 21 Savage, that's good stuff too. But I missed that song from last year. Win, 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 win. I always loved hearing it. And I was like, this is kind of like telling them, let's do this tonight. Yeah. Blessings to you also, Randolph Phillips. Happy New Year and happy holidays. And I hope that you had a nice holiday. I'm so happy as always, to see you in the chat. G saying Chev did a few lives yesterday for the first time, and Tom shouted you out a few times. Awesome. Thank you guys. Yeah, it's weird, Chev, doing live streams yesterday. How did they go? Were they smooth? I have no idea. I'm not following him. And I was super busy yesterday, so I didn't have any time to go check that out. But thank you, Tom Duke, for promoting and shouting me out over there and stuff. And hopefully, you guys enjoy the content over there. I don't know if he's getting into my thing. He's going to start doing live streams. We can both coexist and be fine. It's not a competition. But Tom Duke saying that was different. Hey, G. Hey, Tom, it was. So Chev doing live, was he interacting with y'all and talking to the comments and stuff? Very interesting. Tom Duke saying all a Raptor fan needs is Lex and Chev to feel blessed. Awesome, Tom Duke. I love that. I love that. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed it. And who knows, maybe he'll continue to do it more often. I'm intrigued by it. I want to know what kind of interaction, like me, is he doing with you guys? Is he actually reading your comments or is he just too bombarded? And he's kind of just doing his own thing. It'd be very interesting to find out. Shane Waters is here, another good West Coast Raptor freak out there in British Columbia. Good morning, Shane. Happy holidays, Lex and fellow freaks. Love the OG Christmas parody. Good stuff, buddy. Go Raptors. Bam. OG, let's go, man. You could be Defensive Player of the Year. Yes, thank you, Shane. I had so much fun writing it, and I'm glad you guys are enjoying it. Yeah, I enjoy doing these songs from time to time. Expect one every Christmas. That may be my whole thing for Christmas Day, is making up a new Raptors Christmas song for you guys every year. So that'll be my gift to you guys every year. Tom Duke is saying freaking right on West Coast, freaks for life. That's right, West Coast Raptor freaks holding it down, keeping the balance. We got a West Coast team coming in tonight, the Los Angeles Clippers, and our West Coast Raptor freaks are ready to tell us what time it is on the West Coast so we can get it right to beat the Clippers tonight. That's right, Tom Duke. You tell them what time it is. You tell them what time it is. Shane Waters, it is time to beat the Clippers tonight. It is winning time. Let's go Raptors. That's right, baby. Lolita is here. Good to see Lolita. What is she saying this morning? Good morning, Raptors freaks. 7 winning streak. Third tonight, go Raptors. She is predicting a 7-game winning streak, and we got to get the third one tonight. You know, it'll be fun if we can win out the rest of this month. I know, let's take it one game at a time because it's a very formidable opponents for the rest of this week. And, you know, the Grizzlies are a little crazy with the controversy with the Warriors right now. They're a little ashamed, not shamed. I don't know how I should, you know, they're humbled a little bit. Let's just put it that way by the Warriors from Christmas Day and all the crap talk they did about playing in that game. In fact, I think there was a ref hit job. I do kind of believe what the Grizzlies are saying because, you know, they want the Warriors to look good because they're the champs and they're more established. And, you know, on Christmas, ref hit jobs are very common. You know, the Boston Celtics are going to get help from the refs on Christmas because they like that green team to win on Christmas. And I think the Warriors got help too. So I believe Dylan Brooks and what he said with his getting his fine, saying that the refs were fucking bullshit and they were calling it very unfair and helping the Warriors. And some people may be like, whoa, 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 be quiet. You should have just took care of business. Well, the NBA is tough. And there was a lot of shit talking. And I'm sorry, I'm with the Grizzlies. I can't get with the Warriors. They annoy me. And maybe the Grizzlies are the young upstarts and they're kind of rude and they're kind of wrong in some ways. But the Warriors are so annoying to me, especially Klay Thompson. So I'm just, this is me personally. Y'all can be on the Warriors side in this whole thing. That's fine because it's not really a Raptors related thing. But for me personally, I'm definitely on the Grizzlies side, and I want to see them kick the Warriors' ass. And their record is way better than the Warriors. So, you know, it's an interesting feud that's building, but they're going to come here and they may have some things to prove because they've been a little humbled this week. So that game on Thursday is going to be crazy. And then the Suns. The Suns were the best team in the league record-wise last year. They're very dangerous as usual, but they do have some toxic culture in their franchise, and they're not totally exactly right this year, it seems. They have some issues underlying somewhere. All right, let's see. We can jump on them and get this win streak that Lolita is predicting. I would love to see a 7-game win streak right now for the Raptors. Because you think about it, we win tonight and we win the next 2 games. Well, you know what? We start the year of 2023 exactly 500. We will be back at 500 if we can win these next 3 games. And a clean slate going forward where we hopefully can just build a winning record in 2023 for the rest of the season will be really helpful. And we'll be further ahead than where we were last year at this time. So, all right, let's see. Mike's saying KD and Kyrie respect Toronto and talk good about us. I respect that and root for them from that. Yeah, the goodwill has been growing between particular nets and our team. And Kevin has always had a respect for us, and he's always spoke glowingly about Toronto and the city. Obviously, he was a fan as a child of Vince Carter and also a very big Raptors fan. And Kyrie, the love fest between him and Fred VanVleet is really cool in some ways. You can tell that Kyrie, in a way, is somebody that Fred looks up to and thinks of as kind of as a hero. And the fact that Kyrie recognizes Fred and respects him and kind of validates him in some ways is very important and powerful. And that's kind of part of why we're like cool, is because they do talk respect towards us. And I appreciate that. A lot of great players in this league have not been respectful towards the Raptors in some ways. And I do appreciate that. And I'm with you, Mike. I do. In some ways, I like Kevin. I'm okay with Kyrie the way he plays on the court. Now, outside the game, but these guys are guys I respect to a degree, basketball wise, and really, really like. I don't hate them right now. It's weird. I usually hate people on the Nets, like the number one guys, but I don't right now. And I'm not even hating on Ben Simmons at this point. I just feel sorry for him to a degree. Rahul's here. Good to see Rahul from the front office. Let's see what Rahul's saying today. Is Kawhi playing? Yeah, he's going to play tonight, Rahul. He sat out last night against the Pistons just so he could come to Toronto and play against us. Load management was used last night in their back-to-back. That's another thing we need to talk about. We're playing them on the second night of a back-to-back. So, Nick Nurse, I know you love to play that 8-man, 7-man rotation sometimes. Maybe expand your rotation a little bit and run them off the court if you can. They're very much a very potent scoring team. We need to hold them down and cut their water off and limit their scoring and easy shot opportunities. We need to make it very hard on them. We have to play with that defensive effort that we've shown in the last couple of games, where we're completely antagonizing and bugging every single thing they try to do on the court. And that's especially for Kawhi, because Kawhi is the guy who's dangerous. But yes, he will be playing tonight. Rahul, expect to see Mr. Leonard in the Scotiabank Arena playing against the Raptors tonight. That OG versus Kawhi matchup is going to be a lot of fun. Kareem Thomas is here. Good morning to Raptor freak Kareem Thomas. I swear these restaurant owners better peel off that stupid fucking Kawhi and Dine decals off their windows. If they haven't done it in the last 2 or 3 years, well, shame on you. You better get it done, or Grilly, the food inspector is going to come by and give you that green pass and say, wait, they have a stale ass Kawhi and Dine sticker in their window. I cannot give you the green pass. It's the same dude. I've seen him. I dealt with him. The health inspector, his name's Grilly. And he came and did the convenience store and like checked it out. He looks like a mobster. He wears like all leather. He's the Toronto health inspector. He goes to all the restaurants. You look in the window, you'll see the green pass that says green, that the restaurant's okay. And at the bottom, you'll see the signature. It'll say Grilly. Yeah, I met this dude. He's just like a mobster. He comes in, he's all slick back in leather. He's like, you got a nice store here. And he's like checking the temperature in the fridge. And, he's checking everything. He does all kinds of places. I seen his post, his little green, like, okay post in a barber shop. I'm like, why are you doing a health inspection at a barber shop? Are there people eating at the barber shop? Like, I don't know. But this dude's all over the place. But anyway, if Grilly, you go into restaurants and you see that Kawhi and Dine sticker in the window, Grilly, you need to give them a yellow warning and not give them that green, because they need to get that stale sticker off the wall, especially now that Kawhi is coming back today. That's right, Kareem Thomas. Thank you for letting them know. Get it done, restaurant owners. No more Kawhi and Dine. It is more like Scotty. Let's get Scotty more food. How about that? That's the new thing. Tom Duke saying Kawhi determined his load management by when this game was. I bet, Rahul. He did. He wants to play here against us in front of our fans. He does. He really does. He had the choice. I'm sure he did. He could have played in either game, and he wants to come and play against us on our home court, and it's only right. It makes sense. He's an intelligent guy, and he knows that this matters, and that, he wants to, in some ways, he wants the video package, I'm sure, and to get the honors of being back here. He doesn't get a warm welcome when he comes back to San Antonio for that championship. So maybe he wants to come back here and see if he can get a warm welcome from us, and he will. He very much will. Which will be nice. It'll be nice to see. Leslie's here. Good to see Leslie and Hart. Good morning, everyone. Overtime for the Clippers last night. Let's take advantage of this opportunity tonight. I think Leslie is exactly right. I wish that Nick Nurse would run these teams off the court when we play against them on the second night of a back-to-back. I still feel like he's not fully capitalizing on the fatigue of playing a game the night before and traveling overnight. And then especially it's an overtime game where they scored a lot of points. You really, really need to figure out how you can game a strategy to utilize this, Nick. and help. Like, we don't want to be the team that looks gassed at the end of the game because you played all of our starters 40 to 45 minutes. We want to be the team that has them on their heels and they look absolutely exhausted. And we're still kicking so much butt late in the third quarter into the fourth quarter. So please, Nick, use your bench, use guys an equal number of minutes so that they are not gassed at the end of the game. We don't want to look like the exhausted team at the end of the game after 3 days rest. No, we want to look like the strong team right up until the end of the game. Meanwhile, the Clippers are like huffing and puffing and holding their knees. So that, I'm with you, Leslie, and I wish he would do this and we would see really good positive results for the Raptors because of a strategy like this. G saying no face reveal on Shev. Interesting. His face is revealed in his early stuff, but a bit reading comments, a bit going into his own topics. Yesterday started as Pascal being player of the week. Yes, let's talk about this real quick. It was announced yesterday that Pascal Siakam is the Eastern Conference Player of the Week in the NBA. Luka Doncic is the Western Conference Player of the Week. Of course, they had it because of Pascal's 52-point performance in New York, got a lot of eyes on it. And this is the fifth time Pascal's been the Player of the Week, guys. So this is an award he's won quite a few times. And I'm so happy and proud of you, Pascal. Our Raptor leader is the Player of the Week in the NBA for the Eastern Conference. Fantastic stuff. And very intriguing about Shev and how he's going to do his live stream there. We'll see if he does it more regularly. I feel like his bread and butter is so good with what he does already. But hey, how long was he on? Was he doing like a 3 hour like me? I bet he wasn't. Logical saying, a trend I have noticed with Nick, you call it streak taking on court. He loves the things that are hard to solve. Winning streak teams come in and he's planned things so it exposes their issues and they lose. Yeah, streak busters. Nick Nurse loves challenges, and well, he's going to get a good challenge today. Somebody he should know very, very well. I mean, seriously, Nick, you should know Kawhi Leonard pretty good at this point, and hopefully, you have proprietary knowledge from coaching him that season to really know where he is not as good, where we can put him on the court, like kind of direct him with our defense so that he's not as effective with his field goal percentage. Whatever we can do. Maybe you know which guy to double with or who to really put on him one-on-one. Obviously, OG is probably the best option, but we'll have to see. I think that it's fun, and I think you're right, Logical Raptors fanatic, that Nick really loves the challenge, the puzzle, the Rubik's Cube of each team that comes in and figuring it out and solving it, getting a game plan together, putting it out there, seeing the guys can execute it correctly, and seeing if it has huge success. And I think that what he has done to Cleveland this season has been hugely successful. He obviously knows how to deal with Donovan Mitchell. And, hopefully we can see some success tonight with him figuring out a good scheme for the Clippers and all the different things that they bring that are dangerous. Paul George included. He's somebody we need to talk about. Tom Duke saying, in my opinion, Shev and you are very like-minded, similar takes often, in that you call out BS and don't waffle on stuff. Real ones know real ones. Awesome. Yeah, well, hey, listen, that's a high compliment. I have a lot of respect and love for NBA Shev and what he's doing to help the Raptors in the world as far as perception and information. And him coming from New York and being American, it does help on that side of the border, and he is very popular. So he is getting his voice out there. I love it. And I know that not all of his fans are just Raptor fans. He has fans of all teams that probably listen to him and listen to his takes because he does talk about the NBA in general. So good stuff, Shev. And I'm sure that we do sound alike sometimes, and that's part of why I don't like to watch him now, is because I don't want to be ripping him off. If I say the same things as him, it's just because we're thinking the same way separately. So Jimmy Pope's here, Raptor Freak Jimmy Pope, respect and happy holidays to you. Morning, Raptor Freaks. Haven't been here for a couple streams. Hope everyone had an awesome Christmas, and I love that OG Carol. Laugh out loud. Awesome. Dunkity dunk, dunkity dunk. Dunk it on those hoes. Yes, Jimmy Pope. So happy to see you again in the stream. Tom Duke's got the dunkity dunk is his current earworm. Yeah, at first, it's just so catchy, just like the real song Frosty the Snowman. Oh, gee, let's go, man. It's like this just fits perfectly. Well, the Pascal song for next year is going to be really good too. I'm going to get it worked out in the 365 days between, and we'll have a new song for next year, next Christmas to look forward to. Kareem saying, "Yo, fuck Chef." Whoa, whoa. No disrespect to him. I listen to all his content, but this is a Raptor freak room. Let's get freaky. All right. Kareem's like, all right, keep it separated. I don't mind if they talk about Chef, but I appreciate that, Kareem. Yeah, listen, Chev is awesome, and I won't disrespect him. He's awesome, and him being here, him being live now on YouTube is fantastic in some ways. So yeah, there's room for everybody. But I love that Kareem's coming in. Yo, fuck Chef. Like whoa, 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 whoa. Nameless is saying feels like we haven't played in weeks. I know. Doesn't Christmas or the holidays in general just kind of like take time and like you're kind of just hanging out with family maybe and just kind of like watching basketball and football on the TV and you're just kind of like, when was the last time we played? You know, part of it is that we had such a good game on Friday night against Cleveland. We're anxious to play again. We had our best 3-point shooting game of the season. We're on a roll. And it's kind of like we don't want to take time off. If we could have played on Christmas Day and just have one day off, that would have been good because we want to keep rolling. Well, I really still feel like we're going to do all right and we're going to keep rolling from that inertia from last Friday. But it really is because we played so well. I was like, we're licking our chops to get to the next game. Well, it's tonight. Los Angeles Clippers, baby. Let's go get them. And I know they practiced really hard yesterday. So one of the good things is that these guys, a lot of them stuck around here in Toronto and they did work over the holidays. So it's really good. Logical saying, keep T-Doc spicy campaign needs to be up. Forget Kawhi. Yeah, I don't know. I don't worry about like schmoozing Pascal to stay here. He's somebody that I think he's set up. He's gonna be so happy. There was clips of him and his Christmas, such classy decorum and just beautiful setup. And you did see his mom in the clip and making the dinner with him on Instagram. Just really awesome to see how the different Raptors spent their holidays, whether it was Scotty with Cardi just at home, the Young family, you know, Pascal, Chris Boucher. You see little clips of them and their Christmas and what they did, the different Raptors. All right, let's see. Kareem saying also, what other internal matchups are we looking at other than Kawhi versus Anunoby? Personally, I want to see Barnes lock down Paul George. Ooh, that's not bad too. I mean, we got to look at who's really dangerous on that team. Well, Norman's a little dangerous off the bench, also. You know, you got to worry about Kennard. You got to worry about Man. You know, there won't be any Wall tonight, just so y'all know. Reggie Jackson is always kind of dangerous. Like I said, Reggie versus Fred VanVleet could be a very much a matchup that we need to win. Like, I want to see Fred outscore Reggie Jackson tonight. And I don't think that that's a tall order. I think that he could actually do that pretty good. They have Nicholas Batum. I forgot about him. He's kind of older now, and he doesn't really do as much as he used to, but he's still a very effective defender and kind of a good vet that can be annoying. But yeah, we just gotta, like I said, we gotta match up with them eye to eye, cross, and really take this idea of like I need to outproduce the guy that lines up that's my counterpart on the other team. That this is the way wins are built. You got to beat them on the matchups that who you're playing against. It's like Kawhi versus Pascal. Who's going to score more tonight? Who's going to be more the man? Who's going to be the one who's taking over and saying, I'm winning this game for my team? That's a tough battle, Kawhi Leonard. We know how dominant and how good he can be in carrying his team to a victory. So, but I want to see Pascal do even better than him. That in some ways, this is a game where Pascal can teach the teacher that Grasshopper has gone further at this point. That I'm the Eastern Conference Player of the Week in the NBA, and you were on our team before, but it's now I've grown a little bit up more than you since you've seen me. And this is the new Siakam. And you need to find out just how good I am and just how spicy I've gotten since you left. Yeah, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. All right, let's see. Raps Love is here. Good to see Raps Love. Always love for the Raps, and especially for Raps Love. Defense is how we win, is what Raps Love is saying. I can't disagree with this. I don't think we want to get into a scoring battle. with the Clippers. Like if they are getting 142 points like they did last night, that's not going to be good because we're not averaging a lot of scoring to get up to those heights. We could over exceed and get crazy tonight if we really have some luck with our 3-point shooting and we get some of that good shooting from last Friday against Cleveland. But we don't want to get into that kind of game. We are in the Eastern Conference. They're playing in Toronto tonight in the East. So we want to play Eastern Conference style of basketball, which is very defensive, very physical, and slowing down the game. We don't want to let them get running and get crazy easy baskets where they're getting like 30 points, 30 to 40 points in the first quarter. If they start out and they get like 30 points in the first quarter, it's going to be tough. We really do need to limit them as best we can. You look at their game last night, and they scored 30 points in every single quarter last night. So this is a really good goal for the Raptors for tonight. Let's try and every single quarter tonight keep them under 30. I can live with 25 points. I just don't want them getting to 30 over and over again because that really will signify that they're scoring way too much. And if it's a scoring battle, it could be a real problem for us. So I think Rapslev is right. The defense is going to be very key tonight, and we need to limit them in how much they score tonight. Pound the paint aggressive, get to the line, Raps dub, dub, dub. Yeah, I like those next 2 points also. Let's get down there and bully ball them with OG and Scotty. Let's get Siakam spin into the basket. Let's get Fred shooting. In fact, Fred said something recently that his slump had been partly in his head. He got into his head too much, and it was really affecting his shooting even more. But he feels like he's out of it, y'all. He said yesterday to reporters, Aaron Rose and Vivek, that he feels like he's coming out of this shooting slump now and that he should be much more steady Freddy as far as like we can depend on him to make his threes more often. That he really did hit a bad slump in November into December, and we need him back. And I think that he's ready. He's feeling more confident about where he's at with his shot as of yesterday because that's what he told in an interview. So I hope that's right. And also, this is really good trend that's happening with the Raptors is we are being aggressive in getting to the line. That the referees have to put us on the line because we're going in there and getting so much contact. We're actually getting our good share of our free throws at this point, especially Siakam. But we need to see more guys like Barnes and Anunoby on the line also. And they should get there tonight, hopefully. Tom Duke is saying, haha, Kareem, sorry, my bad. I agree 100%. He has things dialed already. I think he was just trying it out. Congrats, P skills. Our defense has to be solid for sure. For sure. We just got to play really together, communicate a lot, rotate crisply, come in and engage with them physically. This is something Nick's talked a lot about this year is when our defense really comes at them in contact, at them, into them, like we touch them or we come into them and meet them, it's way more effective. We're kind of guarding them and maybe we're keeping up with them, but we're not contacting them physically in some sort of way. Our defense isn't as good. So he wants them to get into them on the defense. And the more we do that, the more successful we are at really messing them up. And that's the thing. We got to be aggressive and on top of them and work really hard. That's the most important thing for the Raptors to win is we got to work so hard. And these guys know that, and they're up for the challenge. In fact, they love the challenge, and it is hard work, but it's so rewarding. Then they see the plan that Nick Nurse gives them executed and done well, and they are successful. That is what keeps them going towards it. And that's why it was so hard during the losing streak. Is like, how do you get that gumption up to play that really tough defense that we have to play to win games when you're losing and it's just really hard to get motivated? Well, we're motivated now, and look out, we're coming. Duke Rocks is saying, good morning, folks. Hope all the freaks had a happy and safe holidays. Also good to hear Achua is now practicing his day-to-day. Yeah, I really expect him Thursday or Friday for one of those games. I don't think he'll play both games, but he's going to be playing in one of them before New Year's happens. So I'm so happy Precious is going to make it back before New Year's Eve. And this is really good. Boston Sports is here. Let's see what Boston Sports is saying this morning. Checking in with us. Boston fan. We got Nets fan today. Now we got Boston fan coming in. I remember you saying you were a huge Celtics and Larry Bird fan. When Toronto got its own team in the mid-90s, what did you do with all your Boston merchandise? And was it hard switching teams? Well, I'm going to tell you're kind of exaggerating. I wasn't a huge Celtics fan. I liked them at that time. I was into that team, that nucleus at that time. Chief, Kevin McHale, Dennis Johnson, that era. But it really wasn't. I liked Larry as an individual. I liked the way he played. I liked the way he shot, and just I'm more of a Magic fan actually. I was a big fan of Magic Johnson also. See, I was a fan of the players, the superstars in that matchup, Magic and Larry. And in some ways, I kind of like Magic more because I met Magic Johnson. And but I rooted for both teams at that time. I didn't really have either one of those as my team. My team was the Pistons, actually. And my favorite player of all was Isaiah Thomas. And I was a big Isaiah Thomas fan as a kid. And I was a Pistons fan. So I had Pistons memorabilia. I did not buy any Boston stuff. I never owned anything Boston. So I didn't get rid of anything. My team was the Pistons. I liked Larry Bird, and the Pistons were kind of the Celtics were kind of a team that were okay to me. I would root for them against a lot of teams in the NBA, but really the Pistons were my team, and then the Magic were my team when they were expansion. They first came out. They were my team because I lived in Florida and that was the market. And then the Raptors, when they came in '95, that became my team. So it's really my only teams that I've really been a big fan of were the Pistons, the Magic, and then the Raptors, but not the Celtics. I've never been number one Celtics or a huge Celtics fan, as you described here. That's not actually accurate. I liked Larry Bird and I enjoyed watching him, and I was a fan of Larry Bird, but I wasn't totally against the Celtics at that time. I did enjoy watching them play, but I also really liked Dominique and the Hawks, and I liked a lot of the superstars in the league. And Magic was another guy I was a big fan of. So it wasn't like I was like hating the Lakers and loving the Celtics, or loving the Lakers and hating the Celtics. It was very much the Pistons were number one. I was a Bad Boys fan, big fan of Dennis Rodman, big fan of Bill Laimbeer. Yeah, that was my team. Logical saying Zubac is an issue in a sense of rebounds. Without Birch out there, we're going to see if Nick can take him out of the game and open the offensive glass will be key, in my opinion. Okay, yeah, this is good point. Let's bring up Zubac. Zubac, what did he do last night? He had 15 rebounds. Yeah, Mike's right. 6 offensive rebounds, 12 points, 4 for 5 from the field and against the Pistons last night. Zubac can be a problem, and these centers recently have been an issue. We saw against Orlando in the 3 games we played against them how much they rebound and how annoying Bobo and Mo Bamba were with their height. We need to negate that with Zubac. We need to get a body on him, push him out. Scott, if you're going to have to defensive rebound against Zubac, you're going to really have to box him out and get physical with him and push him away from getting to the ball. We're going to be a real key, because when there's a taller center, somebody bigger, we do really have to find him and not let him get on the offensive glass. So I'm totally with you on this, Mike. I hope Birch plays tonight, because honestly, he's not injured right now. It was an illness. And he should be fine at this point. He got it like 2 weeks ago, so hopefully he's healthy now and playing tonight, which I hope so. Tom Duke saying, good point, Mike. He can score and own the boards. Yeah. We just got to keep track of him. We did a good job against Allen and Mobley the other night. People like Mitchell Robinson last Wednesday. They're the kind of annoying centers that get those rebounds and putbacks if we don't box them out. But we're doing a good job recently, and hopefully that'll continue. Cool Cat saying we will play Koloko and Hernangomez with Zubac for the matchup. Yeah, I think Koloko could play pretty good against him. We'll see Koloko get out there tonight. I'm pretty sure. He's gotten some DMPs recently, but I think this is a matchup tonight where Christian should probably play. And it's more than likely that Juancho Hernangomez will be starting again tonight. I think that starting lineup with the 4 regular starters and Juancho is really sound and experienced and very good at setting the table for the game in a very qualified way that we're not making dumb mistakes right off the bat. That, with Koloko out there, that's just too much too soon for a rookie. And, Hernangomez has a better start for the game for us. And he probably will be starting tonight. It'd be probably the same starting lineup. Nameless is saying Achua returning as early as this week. That's right. Nameless. I'm going to say he's probably going to play against Memphis. If not, he will play against Phoenix. But I don't think he'll play both games. He has a special connection to Memphis. So it may be more enticing, much like Kawhi wanted to play against us tonight instead of Detroit. If he has to choose between the 2 games later this week, he's going to want to play against the Grizzlies. and sit against Phoenix. So if he's ready for Thursday, he will probably play against Memphis. Kareem's saying, I'm not all for throwing games, but their owner is such a Raptor hoe. He will stand in the tunnel trying to recruit our players. Fucking LA Raptors. I know they even named their G League team the Ontario Clippers. It's crazy. I know they're from the city Ontario in California, but it is kind of a funny joke to say Steve Ballmer loves all the Raptors and really is trying to get our guys like Kawhi and Serge and Norman. He'd probably take our coach if he could get him. He'd probably get Fred VanVleet. He'd probably get all these guys if he could. But he's named his G League team the Ontario Clippers. So there's something to this. I think you're right, Kareem. And yeah, Steve Ballmer is annoying. Like he's loud and weird, but he's very enthusiastic. I have to give him credit for that. But he is annoying, and it is kind of annoying how he's kind of like grifted some of our guys from us. Alistair's saying Pascal versus Kawhi. Yeah, I want to see this scoring battle. Let Pascal take care of that scoring load, and guys help him. But OG shut down Kawhi at the same time too. Logical saying we're gonna need more possessions this game, and the rebounding will decide this one. We're gonna need more possessions this game, and the rebounding and turnovers for LA and us not turning it over, in my opinion. Yeah, we need to be very careful with the ball, and we need to out rebound them. Those are great keys to the win, and I think you're exactly right, Mike. The rebounding battle, we're going to really look at that stat tomorrow, and hopefully we have won it and we just won the game. But turnovers is also something we've been doing very, very well with recently. Now, we had a game last week where we had high turnovers against Cleveland, but we managed to shoot really, really well to overcome it. And that's kind of been a flip of what we've been doing recently. It was like we have very few turnovers, but we don't shoot well. And we still, that was kind of how we won in New York. And then, like in Cleveland, we had a lot of turnovers, but we shot so well. We outshot them. But these are important battles. The 3-point shooting stuff is important. Who's going to make more threes? Who's going to shoot at a higher percentage overall with their field goals? Who's going to get to the line more? Who's going to get the rebound battles? Like who is going to get more offensive rebounds in this battle could be very important. All this stuff, very, very important. I think Mike's right. Possessions are going to be important. We're going to have to look and see what the field goal attempts are for both teams at the end of the game and see who made more, whether it's through offensive rebounds or steals and getting in transition. Nameless saying, I hope we really pour on the love for Kawhi tonight and remind him of what he's missing. This game represents the passing of the torch from Kawhi to Pascal, and I bet Pascal can't wait to show this. I can't wait to see Pascal show what he's doing to Kawhi. I think that, Kawhi made a really dumb statement about when he left. He said he didn't feel like our team could repeat. And it was so dumb because obviously when he left, our team was the best record in the Eastern Conference that year in this shortened season of the pandemic. We had the best record when the pandemic hit in the East. And that was such a dumb, I don't know, Kawhi, you're a really good player, but maybe they're not most intelligent as far as thinking about teams. Because you stayed, we would have probably ran it back and repeated. Seriously, the team was not that bad. We still had Serge and Mark. And we were rolling without you. Just imagine if you had been here. And meanwhile, you were hurt over there. But once again, we have decided that Kawhi going to the Clippers was actually dodging a bullet for us. That we're kind of lucky that he did go to the Clippers with all of his health issues since. That he may have just really pissed us off because he was barely ever available and been a distraction and a woulda, coulda, shoulda kind of thing where it's like, well, if Kawhi had just been here for more than 12 games this season, that kind of stuff would have been going on. So in some ways, he did us a favor leaving and making us fast track to go to the next chapter without getting the chance to continue to try and get repeat with him. So it's woulda, coulda, shoulda. We don't know what would have happened if he had stayed in Toronto. I think he fucked up though when he went, and I think Nameless is right. We got to remind him what he's missing because he left. Duke Rocks is saying after every holiday break, Raps tend to come out sluggish like most teams. Hope we keep it rolling tonight. I think you're right. And this is true. This is kind of like the All-Star break. You come back from the All-Star break and things are a little bit like getting back into it. But I don't know. For some reason, I feel like our guys did a weird Christmas this year. And they really worked hard a lot over this Christmas. I saw Chris at the Islands. He did leave Toronto and go somewhere hot, Chris Boucher. But a lot of these guys seem like they stuck around Toronto. Seeing Juancho at OVO yesterday, these guys got practice in yesterday. So this is good. Sometimes when they practice the day before a game, that's a really good thing for them. That they get really organized and oriented. And Nick sees who's kind of got the hot hand in practice, and he may make decisions from what he sees, like yesterday in practice for tonight's game. But yeah, them getting some practice time over this holiday break doesn't hurt. So they probably took Saturday and Sunday off, but some of the guys stayed in town and they probably did workouts at OVO on their own. But then they had a team practice yesterday, so hopefully they're revved up. And also, they didn't get a super long break. I mean, it was 3 days, but who knows? We'll have to see. Hopefully, they're not going to have sluggishness from the holidays. Hopefully, they didn't go crazy and eat all kinds of crazy turkey, and they're full of tryptophan and they're kind of like sleepy or something like that. Kareem saying, I ran into Coloco and Boucher yesterday at McDonald's. They were beefing up for today's matchup against the Bigs. They were good. Man, I don't want these guys eating at McDonald's. Oh, man, but that's funny. You serious? Or is this a joke, Kareem? I hope that, if you did see them, right on, man. Good to see those guys. There was a funny part in Hustle Play that I forgot to talk about, and I meant to talk about. Chris talks about how him and Coloco get confused for each other in public. And because their names are both Christian and Chris, you could say Chris to Christian and he'll turn and he'll be like, yeah, what? And what's happening is they're out in public and fans will come up to them. And Chris said that it happened to both of them in reverse. Chris, he came up to him and he's like, oh, can you sign my card? Or I want to take a picture of you. And they thought he was Christian Coloco. They thought Chris Boucher was Christian Coloco. And then they would think Christian Coloco was Chris Boucher. They're getting confused for each other by the fans. That they're not very good fans, basically. They don't understand who's who. But yeah, he was talking about that on Hustle Play. And he's like, y'all need to get this right. You're doing this wrong. I am Chris, and that is Christian. And we may be tall, very tall and skinny, but we're not the same person. Mike is saying the Spurs and Kawhi never repeated, so I think that's a roadblock in his mind, and something like Braun to DeMar. The line he can't conquer and is built up in his mind more from repeated failure, in my opinion. I don't think it has anything to do with that. I mean, really, we got to understand the reason why he left was because it was always the plan that he wanted to go back to LA, and he knew to get to LA, he had to do 1 year in Toronto. And in some ways, he was kind of like, okay, we got to do this 1 year. I'll make the best of it. Well, we really made the best of it. But he was always going to go back to California before he even showed up in Toronto. He had decided that. And it would have taken so much to persuade him to stay. And Uncle Dennis wasn't helping. He definitely wasn't, seeing that he wanted to be assistant GM. Duke Rock's saying, yeah, I was referring to the holiday food, laugh out loud. Yeah, well, hopefully they ate smart. It looked like what Pascal was having was very healthy, kind of good holiday food, at least from what I saw in the pictures a bit. All right, let's do the referee crew check for tonight. Our referees, our lead ref for tonight is James Capers Jr. That's right. James Capers Jr. is a 30-year ref in the NBA. He is from Chicago, Illinois. His father was a ref, James Capers Sr. We have not won with James Capers as our referee this year, hardly at all. Last time he refed us, we lost. He has not been nice to us. I really do worry that he's like an NBA ref hit job guy from the head office, because he is kind of like shady, and I don't think he likes the Raptors. So I'm not a big fan of James Capers Jr., and we're going to have to watch him tonight. His favorite TV show is Blackish. His favorite movie is Malcolm X. His favorite musician is Jill Scott. His favorite book is The Shack. He is very good at bid whist. His favorite app is Pandora, and his favorite meal is lobster roll on Martha's Vineyard. And remember, James Capers is part of the Referees Association Executive Board. He has helped negotiate collective bargaining agreements with the NBA for the referees. So he is a union rep for the referees also. Our record with James Capers is we win 46% of the time, and the Clippers win 40% of the time. Now, a lot of that is because the Clippers have been very bad at times in the last 30 years. So James Capers' record for the Clippers is lower than ours, but it may be more higher in recent years. We need to note that. But we do win statistically with James Capers uh, historically with the win percentage, 46% to 40% for the Clippers. But still, like I said, I think we've lost both games that James Capers has ref for us this year so far. Our second ref is Ray Acosta. Ray Acosta is from New Jersey. He lives in Florida now. This is his sixth season as an NBA ref. His favorite TV show is The Sopranos. His favorite movie is Scarface. He likes Michael Jackson. I want to love you, PYT, pretty young thing. His favorite book is Rich Dad, Poor Dad. He'll eat anything Italian. Okay, so anything Italian today, Tom. Favorite app is Netflix. His hidden talent is dancing. Off the court, Acosta enjoys working out, traveling, going to the movies, and attending concerts. Now, Ray is the ref that we have the best record with in the game tonight. We win 58% of the time. And actually, the last game he ref for us, we won. So, the Clippers, though, they have an even better record with Ray Acosta. They win 2 out of 3 times when he's on the court. 67% of the games that he is ref, they win. The Clippers. So Ray Acosta is very friendly to the Clippers, and but he's also got the best win percentage for us. Also, the third ref is a rookie ref. She is in her first season as a referee in the NBA. She's from Los Angeles, California. Her name is Cheryl Flores. This will be the first game ever of the Raptors that she will referee. She has never reffed the Raptors in a regular season game yet until tonight. Her favorite TV show is Game of Thrones. Her favorite movie, and this is cool as hell. This says a lot about her. Her favorite movie is Pee-wee's Big Adventure. Her favorite musician is James Blake. Her favorite book is The Mindful Athlete. Her bucket list is to learn how to play piano. She'd most like to visit outer space. And her favorite meal is cherry pie. So this is very interesting. She doesn't want a meal. She wants a dessert, Tom. She likes cherry pie. She refereed the NCAA Women's National Championship game in 2021 and the Women's Final Four in 2019. So she is very much a very new ref, Cheryl Flores. And as I said, she has not refereed us ever before. This will be the very first time she referees a Raptor game. And she has reffed the Clippers once, and they lost. So there you go. She's reffed the Clippers once so far this year, and she's in her first year. So those are our refs: James Capers, Ray Acosta, and Cheryl Flores. So we've got a 30-year ref, we got a 7-year ref, and we've got a brand new referee, rookie referee tonight. So there's your ref crew. I can't really say they favor us or they're against us. It's hard to tell, especially since there's a rookie ref. And then James Capers, like I said, I'm not a fan of his. Ray Acosta can be hit or miss with us also. So we'll have to see. Logical saying, I'm saying maybe he did believe we weren't going to repeat based on San Antonio, but the way the playoffs went, he probably knows now it's very possible. He said we couldn't repeat after you signed with LA. That was dumb too, and I don't even know why he had to say that. You know, they were asking, why didn't you re-sign with Toronto? And that's what he said to them. You didn't have to say that. You should have just said you were going home, because in some ways you sounded stupid when you said that, because of course we could have repeated if you'd stayed. Alistair saying, once you said he's from New Jersey, my first thought, Sopranos. Yeah, and he liked the show, Sopranos. All right, Tom's got the food out now. There's a lobster with a piece of bread. There's a plate. And then he's got some Italian. Looks like it's just regular old spaghetti with sauce. There's a pie. And then there's a yum yum face there. Okay. Tom says he likes the menu tonight. They better behave and no ref hit job. You hear us, James Capers Jr.? Please do not have a bias against the Canadian team tonight. I know that you're a strong, proud American, and maybe that's part of why you treat us so poorly, James Capers Jr. But please call it down the line and don't do this to us tonight. Ray Acosta, Cheryl Flores, please be kind to the Raptors tonight in our home building. Give us some home cooking, and then maybe our fans won't be on you in the game saying, ref, you suck. Ref, you suck. We don't want any of that tonight. Just be very fair and right down the middle. You're going to call one thing at one end for Kawhi, you better call it at the other end for Pascal. That's what I'm saying. We just want consistency on both ends of the court. If you're going to play, let one team play with physicality on their defense, you better let the other team play the same kind of level of physicality. No touch fouls on one end, and meanwhile, they're mugging the hell out of us at the other end. So you just keep it on the level, refs, and we'll be fine, all right? All right, let's do the next part of the show. It's the real mascot matchup. And the last time we saw the real mascot matchup, The Raptor had just like kicked Nurse Annette in the face because she tried to put some knickerbockers on his legs, and he kicked her. Like he took the opportunity to really kick her in the face, and then threw the pants on her, and then locked her in the room. He got out of the room. Now he's in the house, and he's trying to escape the house, the hell house that these crazy people have been holding him in and torturing him with the sauna room. And well, there's one thing between him and the door, and that is the Cavalier nurse. She was standing right there ready for him, and they're about to fight. And boy, they're in the middle of this kitchen of this house, and they are having a knockdown, drag them out kind of fight. It's kind of like They Live with Roddy Piper and Brian David, or whatever his name is, the black guy in that movie. The fight they have in that alley, there's a little bit of that kind of long time fighting. Because listen, Nurse Annette and the Cavalier nurse are very strong women. In fact, they're like masseuses also. They have very strong muscles. And the Raptor is just the Raptor. He's not like the Velociraptor or the Electroraptor of last season. He is just an average, just regular Raptor. And he doesn't even bite people or anything because he's really like the dude who's at the game. He's very mild-mannered, kind of a clown. And well, he's fighting the Cavalier nurse, and all over the kitchen, and it's brutal, and it's quite a fight. But he wins. He wins. He beats her up, and like leaves the kitchen. In fact, I think he grabbed the frying pan and went womp because they're in the kitchen. He took the frying pan, and went womp, and hit her in the face, and ran out the door. And well, he's out. He escaped the room. He's on his way running across a field, and this time he sees there was a pontoon boat before. There was the pelican boat that we saw before. It was like painted like a pelican. Well, this time, instead of out there in the coast, is a sailboat. There's a sailboat sitting in the harbor, and he wants to jump in that boat and just get the hell out of there, get as far away from these crazy psychos as quickly as he can. And is he going to be able to take this ship, this boat, this clipper out into the sea and escape finally this horrible situation? Is he home free finally? We're gonna have to find out. He's getting closer. He's out of the house. He's out of the room. He's out of the house. He's gotten past Nurse Annette. He's gotten past the Cavalier nurse. What's gonna happen? Will he get on that boat, and will it be smooth sailing from now on? We'll have to find out next time on the Real Mascot Matchup. We got to see if he can even untie the boat, or if he even knows how to drive it or start it up or anything. I don't know. We'll have to find out. All right, let's see what more comments from you guys. Boston Sports chiming in again. Good luck tonight. Celtics game should be over at halftime, playing against the Rockets. So I'll be checking out Clippers and Raps afterwards. I'm going to tell you this right now, Boston Sports. Don't you get cocky. I'm going to tell you right now, you think you're going to beat the Rockets by halftime? You may be sorely mistaken. That team is dangerous. You can act like, oh, we're so good, we're going to beat the Rockets by halftime. You're crazy. Because you have you played them yet this year? You're crazy. None of these teams this year are easy. You want to come in tonight and take the Rockets lightly, you're going to get an L. Watch me. Yeah, you're going to get an L tonight. If they had the same attitude as you, the Celtics team tonight, they're going to catch an L. Because the Rockets are dangerous. They may be one of the worst teams in the league, but there's no bad teams in this league at this point. What happened to you with Orlando recently? That's what I'm saying. Orlando's supposed to be the worst team in the Eastern Conference. Oh, you go ahead and take the Rockets lightly tonight and find out what Jalen Green does when he elevates on y'all and throws it down on y'all. You go ahead, take them lightly, Boston Sports. That will be your folly, your mistake, and you will get handed an L. The team ain't going to be acting like you. I'm going to trust you. They're going to be very, very serious about playing this Rockets team tonight. So, yeah, you go ahead, get cocky, and watch out. Watch out. I'm just going to warn you right now because we've seen the Rockets, and they're no joke. We didn't beat them, but they are dangerous. They are very dangerous. Mike's saying it was actually said by Kawhi's people in the report. The quote was, Kawhi didn't feel the Raptors were going to repeat, said by Uncle Dennis. Can't remember exactly. It was the answer to bad press. So maybe he didn't even say it. Uncle Dennis just said that bullshit because he was hurt. Because Masai said, I don't want you to be my assistant GM. And Uncle Dennis said, oh, well, they weren't going to repeat anyway. And it was like, Kawhi said that. It was like, did you say that, Kawhi? He's like, I don't know. Who knows? I still don't believe he said that because he doesn't say stuff like that. So if Uncle Dennis said it, it came out of his mouth, then maybe it just came out of Uncle Dennis's mouth. And Tom Duke thinks that Nurse Annette is Uncle Dennis. No, we know who Nurse Annette is. Nurse Annette is Joe Tsai. is the Nets. Nurse and Net is the Nets. Literally, you know that, Tom. That's the embodiment of the Nets team. Nurse and Net. You know that. Cool Cat saying Fred VanVleet said Kawhi prevented a Raptors dynasty. He predicted he would have won multiple chips. Yeah, I did hear Fred say this, and I think they're right. I think that we would have repeated in the second year. I mean, there was a lot of going against us besides Kawhi leaving. There's also a pandemic coming, and a bubble, stupid ass bubble playoffs. And yeah, I don't know. It was what it could have, should have. We don't know what will happen, and it's always going to be Kawhi's regret that he will wonder for the rest of his life, and he'll never know. Jimmy Pub saying, I like that Kawhi is playing tonight. I hope he gets a lot of nostalgia about what that run we had. I know, I do too. Coming in the building, maybe you'll see some of the same people. Maybe it'll start all coming back to him, and he'll be like, damn, I really did have it good here when I was wearing red and black with the Raptors. I really, really did. Oh, there's Dr. McKechnie. I love that guy. Man, come here, Alex. Hey, Kawhi, I love you. It's so good to see you. You made me so healthy for the Raptors. I wish I could just like put you in my suitcase and take you back to LA with me. I would if I could. But you're not going anywhere. You're here in Toronto. And man, I wish you know what? I kind of wish I still played for y'all just so I could be around Dr. McKechnie. And I know that he will get the best out of my body and health wise. Yeah, I think you're right. Tom Duke's saying, well, I know they're just both evil. I don't know if Uncle Dennis is evil. I just think that he's very, he's a power player in the NBA. He's kind of like one of these guys, like Kawhi's like listens to him and he's like a mentor to him. So he has some power because Kawhi is such a powerful player in the league. And I think that's what it is with Uncle Dennis. He's a little bit power hungry in the NBA, that kind of guy is what it is. And he's not our headache. He's Steve Ballmer's headache is at this point. So, all right, let me do a wrap up for the whole show and the kit caboodle of today. Let's see. We got for our injuries tonight, Kem Birch is still listed as day to day, but I'm gonna tell you right now, I have a good feeling that he's going to be available to play tonight because his issues have all been non-COVID related illness, and it's been about 2 weeks since he's been kind of out because of this. So he should be healthy. He should be feeling better. So I would expect Kem Birch to be available tonight. Otto Porter is still going to be about a month, is what they're saying. That he may not be back till like the middle of January. But Precious, the news is really, really good yesterday. He practiced yesterday mostly, but he is doubtful for tonight. But they do expect him back this week for one of the games later this week, either Memphis or Phoenix. So Precious is on his way back. On the other side of the ball, the Clippers are flipping load management from Kawhi to John Wall. Kawhi Leonard did not play last night, so he could play against us tonight. And meanwhile, John Wall played last night, and he will not play tonight against us here in Toronto. So no John Wall for the Clippers tonight off the bench, but Kawhi will be playing. Let's see. Seymour's here. Morning, Raptor Freaks. Happy blessings. Happy holidays. Wishing all a great new year. Thank you, Seymour Pape. Appreciate you, Sheriff. And I hope you had a fantastic holiday. And yes, New Year's is coming soon. Oh, yeah, baby. New Year's, let's celebrate and say goodbye to 2022. And let's hope that 2023 is a fantastic, amazing year for the Raptors. Lots of W's and winning. Mike saying Kawhi in interviews talked good about Toronto. He says the year was fun and he gets thanks from Canadians like everywhere. And he understands the love between Canadians and the Raptors players. That's awesome. Well, he's always going to be a part of history. In some ways, the thing that he did here with us, it may have been a one-year fling, but it was a really impactful and important one, especially here on this side of the border for Canadians. And, in some ways, I'll bet that there's something so special about such a perfect, immaculate year for him, the 1 year he played for the Toronto Raptors, that is in some ways like the perfect year of his whole entire career. That, he may have won a championship with the Spurs when he was younger and won the MVP, the finals MVP at that time. But in some ways, it's not the same as what he did here and how big and special it was. So, yeah, I like it. Cool Cat saying we want Porter for more for playoffs. We want Porter more for playoffs. Porter. What do you mean, Porter? I don't totally understand. Our refs tonight are James Capers Jr., 30-year ref, Ray Acosta, who's been refereeing for 6 years, and then rookie referee Cheryl Flores is refereeing tonight also for us. I don't know if they're a favorable crew or not. We're just gonna have to see. Hopefully, no ref hit jobs or anything. Oh, you're saying, oh, we want Porter more for the playoffs. Yeah, yeah. I'm not worried about Otto and his timeline of coming back. He really is like extra trimmings on our team to a degree. He's not absolutely essential for us to win, but he does definitely help us win in different ways with his veteran experience and his 3-point shooting and his ability to play very well in our system from what we've seen the little bit so far this season. He has not looked like he stuck out like a sore thumb or was a problem. He was very much in tune and running with everybody else in the right way and doing a really good job. So we'll have to see. Seymour saying mid-season Canadian awards. Who is the Canadian MVP so far? It's tough. There's a lot of guys playing amazing, and this is a big topic this season. Is did the Team Canada work with Nick Nurse? Some of these guys did really help them jump their game this season, like SGA in particular. He may be the guy. We may have to pick him to be the Canadian MVP so far this season, but you got other guys too, like Jamal Murray. You got RJ Barrett. We could even look at some of our Canadian guys and say, whoa, Chris Boucher. I don't know. Chris is probably not in the running for Canadian MVP, but it's probably either SGA, RJ, or Jamal Murray. But there's other guys too, like Dylan Brooks. We can go. The list just goes on, and a lot of these guys have made big jumps. You can even look at an old player like Kelly Olynyk is actually playing really exceptionally well for Utah this season too. So, and on the college level, Zach Edey for Team Canada has played very well too. Alistair saying Otto has to start. Well, he hasn't earned a starting spot on our team yet. He hasn't shown up or done enough to do that kind of thing. So I don't know if that's going to happen. But he's pretty good off the bench, too. He can be effective off the bench also. He'd be kind of similar to what we're doing with Gary Trent right now. All right, guys, let's win the board battle tonight. Let's keep Zubac off the board. Let's get these matchups, one-on-one matchups like Kawhi versus Pascal. Let's get Pascal to have more points by the end of the night. Let's get OG Anunoby out there to stymie and stifle Kawhi Leonard. Let's see if we can get his points production lower just because we have such good defenders that can kind of stop him. Let's see Scotty Barnes show up tonight in front of the home crowd, which he plays way better at home than on the road, and have a dominant game. Scotty, you go out there and throw your weight around. You go out there and show, look, Kawhi, you're the past, and I'm the future, baby, here in Toronto. And I want to show you just how much this team is still good without you since you left, that we are great when we have like 4 out there. Be great 4. And I know you can throw your weight around, get that low post going, get a lot of rebounds. Make sure you stay keyed in on your defense. Like Pascal said, don't get bored, Scotty. Take the challenge of every moment on the court, the whole 48 minutes, and really excel and be tuned in and on it all the time. Because that is one thing that Nick Nurse is worried about with you this season is not getting up for the games correctly and being excited and motivated like you were in your rookie year. That may have been part of the problem that people are seeing is that in some ways he has to learn how to get up for every single game and stay completely motivated. It's not that he doesn't want to. It's just that he's learning what it takes to do it night in and night out throughout the NBA grind. Last year was all new and shiny and very exciting. And in some ways, the exuberance of being in the NBA carried him and his energy in that kind of way. Well, this year, it's a little bit more of a grind. It's a little bit more harder. There's a little bit more of like critique on him. There's a little bit more difficult in some ways. And getting up and feeling that kind of exuberance and, excitement about playing, it may be a little harder to garner. Well, Scotty, take it and say, like, look, I'm going to go play against the Raptors finals MVP from 2019 tonight. I want to make a statement, like I just said, that he's the past and I am the future. So you go out there and establish that tonight, young Scott Wayne Barnes, because I know you can do it and you will. I know you will. All right, let's see. Race mode's here. Good to see you, race mode. Let's go. Exactly, baby. And Logical Raptors Fanatic saying Sharp and Benedict Mathurin for Indy is really good. He's talking about the rookies for Canada out there. Mathurin, very, very good. Sharp is a crazy athlete with some of the stuff he's doing. Tom Duke saying, keep it going, Raptors. Be great. That's right. Let's keep the W win streak going. We got to keep winning, y'all. We are below 500 right now. We need to fix that. We are not tanking for Wemby. We are a real team. We are dangerous. We've shown that last week. We need to continue that trend tonight. Lolita's saying, thankful to Kawhi, but I hope that Fred, Siakam, and OG show him what he says they're not going to win another championship. Go boys. Let's get a W. That's right. We're going to prove everybody wrong. Everybody thinks that the Raptors will only win one championship and never again. Well, we're not fucking. That's not going to happen. We're going to win another championship. And everybody's going to be like, holy shit, the Raptors did win another championship. That's right. You know, people talk about dynasties in Memphis. Well, they haven't even won a championship. And that made the Warriors people upset because they're a dynasty right now. Well, we are more likely to be a dynasty than the Grizzlies in some ways because we've already got one. So we get a second one, then we get a third one. Boom, that's a dynasty. You just need like more than two really to make it a dynasty. And like I said, I have a long term goal for the Raptors to win 5 championships before 2035. And I don't think that's completely unrealistic. The Spurs did it, and I think we could do it too. Very much kind of in the same kind of pattern of coming in and out and winning it like every other year or every 2 or 3 years. So we'll have to see how it goes. All right, Cool Cat saying, is it wrong for me to say Old Nick should be our center? I don't think so. I mean, it'd be weird. I'm not against having Old Nick on our team, even though he's one of the Canadians that I don't like. I like almost all the Canadians, but I just don't like Olnick because of years of him being a goon in Miami and Detroit, playing against the Raptors and making dirty plays on our guys. Tom Duke saying, wonder what New Year's resolution Nick has for his 2023 coaching. I would love Nick Nurse to make this resolution for 2023. That I am not going to run my stars to the ground, that I'm going to play other guys and trust in them and make more of my rotation sound. I'm going to find more useful role players off my bench by actually giving them time to produce and get a little bit of feeling like they have a role on the team instead of just like putting them out there all of a sudden for times just a little bit here and there. I'd really like him to do that. But who knows? We'll see what happens this year. All right, guys. Thank you for joining me. Please like, comment, subscribe, share the Raptor Freak channel. Appreciate y'all for promoting me on Chev's Live yesterday. Tom Duke and everybody. And I hope you guys have a great Tuesday. And I'll be back tomorrow with the reaction to tonight's game. Hopefully he gets in that boat, the Raptor, and he smooth sailing. That boat cooperates and loses. And the Raptors win tonight and get 3 wins in a row. And this is building a streak. All right, guys, have a great Tuesday, and let's go